Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Ineffableelse, where we explore the things that are beyond our supposed comprehension, and we use the parameters that astrology affords us to explore the different planets in the different archetypes. This is the first series, and it is the Saturn series. So join me down the rabbit hole. Please subscribe to the channel. Let's help this grow and spread the word of astrology and a bit more of an introspective view on this artistic science that we have been gifted by the universe. And please comment below, do you know your Saturn placement? What sign is your Saturn in? What do you think about it now being in Aquarius? Share this video with anyone who you know who might appreciate this. Like it. Hit the notification button to receive more. Please don't hesitate to contact me for a reading via email or through any of the social media platforms which I link in the description to this video. Very excited to be here. This is my great passion, so relax and enjoy this journey with me. Hello, Saturn in Taurus. This video will also apply to you if you have Saturn in the second house or if you have Venus conjunct with Saturn, because this is the two archetypes coming together. Saturn is to do with control and how we have boundaries, and Taurus is fixed and it's Earth. And with Saturn in this place, it's all about creating the perfect container, the perfect environment, and using resources wisely. As it's in the second house, this can also be to do with something quite early on in childhood, having to take on responsibility very young for others. This is also the planet of control, and it can make us want to control external things. And on the flip side of that, it can make us lazy because we can't control everything, so then we just can't do it, so we let it all go. It can also mean that because we're trying to create our safe space, it means we can be quite unexplorative. And this can also be to do with early on in life not having the right nurturing to feel safe, and becoming having to be a caregiver too early on. Capricorn and Cancer is the axis to do with parents. So always look at what's happening with the moon, the ruler of Cancer, and where your Saturn is, because Saturn is to do with the parents. And often this can mean that there is a sort of fixation on a pleasing of a parent. You may have needed to grow up too young, and there can have been too much of a focus on monetary wealth, on physical wealth and physical things, which can make you doubt your own worth. And Saturn will be constantly coming to kind of tap you on the shoulder and remind you to look at that. And that will be through feelings of unworthiness in situations where you do not feel worthy. And there can be because it's earth-based, so it is happy here. I mostly am focusing on traumatic things with Saturn, because Saturn is the finger that points us in the direction of the things which need to be healed. And when it is in Taurus, it's an earth sign, yes, but it can also mean an obsession with material things and physical things, and an idea that some kind of security can be gained, emotional security can be gained through external things, through shopping, through food. So this can be controlling food intake, either with binging or the disordered eating of all varieties, from anorexia all the way through to obesity. This is the tricky thing with Saturn in Taurus. So the good question to ask yourself is, what is abundance really? if it's not material, if it's not something temporary, what is lasting abundance, and what does it look like in your life, and how would it feel in your body, and what things make you feel genuinely safe. The areas in the body where there can be tension held around this, as always, would be the throat. So being able to express yourself appropriately as a Taurus, and not taking the easy route of just kind of passivity, but actually being able to speak out and release these things, and potentially write down all of the ways that you didn't feel loved, that you didn't feel worthy when you were young, to see it on paper and see, wow, I didn't realize I was holding on to all of these thoughts and ideas and concepts about my worth, until you start really digging into that. And Saturn will make you aware of that, and it can almost result in, as I say, a perfected external environment and perfected self. Beautiful, you know, maybe an obsession with physical appearance as well, so controlling your physical appearance, like plastic surgery and makeup and hair extensions to a fault, you know, to an exaggerated level of you know, I can't miss my nail appointment, you know, and that kind of obsession that can come with Saturn, and needing things to be just so. And that's not necessarily the healthiest way to work with the Saturn energy if we're going to be masters of our own energy. And the beautiful thing with Saturn is beauty. In Taurus, it's about beauty and how to create safe and stable spaces that are beautiful and harmonious without being attached to them. So this could be, also Saturn is to do with career, so this could be someone who works in a career as some kind of designer or some kind of in the beauty world, but it's very important that what we create we don't get attached to. So we make it, we share it, and we let it go. The other place to look at would be, because of these feelings of a lack of worth, would be to look in the heart and to focus on heart meditations and bringing the focus down from the mind and the concepts into the heart, and just sitting with it and letting the feelings come out. And with Capricorn, it is to do with the father energy more, as the moon is more the mother, and with Saturn it's much more about the father. So look at your relationship with your father, and see where you're being stubborn and fixed, either in an idealized fantasy that my relationship with my father was perfect when in fact it wasn't, or if you are harboring a lot of resentment. In both cases, you are harboring resentment, because one is conscious and one is unconscious. And look at that and really try and work through that. And even if they've passed, you can really focus on forgiving them from your heart space. And then that in turn will help you elevate your own sense of worth, because you start seeing it more through their eyes and their perspective, and how you ended up with these issues around worth later in life. About that receptivity and always being on the recline, there's also a temptation not to share. And I want to say that it's extremely important that you do share, and you do share who you are and your truest self, and you will be received for it, and you will be received for it far better than you ever were earlier on in life, as you now have the reins of your own existence. But there should be no hiding. There's no need for you to hide. And with Saturn, when it comes to return, and every 29 years, so when you're 29 and when you're 56, and then when it squares and trines and makes other aspects to your chart, it will be constantly at these moments accelerating these points for you. So use these times, don't run away, don't just try and escape, but actually use these moments to face these shadow parts of yourself.